Hello. A while ago in an art haul, I think it was the January sales one from 2021, I showed this bag that I got. This is an army bag that I got from TK Maxx. I couldn't tell you who it's by. I'm pretty sure it was an Australian company because it did have a tag and I have since lost it. Can't remember the name of it. It was in the men's section and I just thought this would be absolutely perfect as a travel art bag. So I'm going to show you what I've decided to put in there. Let's get into it. So in Australia, we were in lockdown for a very long time last year, but at the moment it's pretty good, so fingers crossed it stays like that. We're able to get out and about more and everything's open again for the most part. There's social distancing, but we don't even have to wear masks outside anymore, which is fantastic. Boy, I really don't miss wearing those. But anyway, I thought that I might actually get out a little bit more. Nick and I both need some leisure time out, so I thought I'd get this thing packed, and then if we go anywhere, I can have all of my art stuff together. And I really wanted a bag that would fit everything, so my art stuff, my personal items, and maybe even some camera gear. So this bag has managed to fit everything. I've filled it pretty much to capacity at the moment. It might not necessarily stay like this because sometimes I might change my mind as what I want to bring along, but I figured I'd pack it with the things that I would most likely take, and then we can see what's in here. So I've got it clipped together. I like that it's got these two metal things which you could hang something off. I don't know what, but there we go. At the moment I don't have anything. I think they're designed so you can add extra strapping, but I don't see extra straps on here. I guess I could go to an army surplus store and maybe find some extra things to put on here. I haven't decorated it or anything. So in the front pocket here, I currently don't actually have anything in here, but I did think that if I need to, I can put either some masks in here. See, the whole thing flips over like that, so I'm a little bit nervous about putting anything in there that could potentially fall out if I had that zip open. So I might just leave that as is, or I would put in something very flat. Maybe if I go somewhere and I pick up some postcards or something, I can put them in there. So that's probably what I'll use that one for. The back of it's got another little case here, and inside I have got something in here. I've got two little boxes, coloured pencils. This is that limited edition tin that Faber-Castell put out of their old-fashioned polychromos. So it's just a nice little set of a few coloured pencils in case I just want to draw something really quickly in coloured pencil and not have to paint it with watercolour. I think in here, yes, I did also pack my Bronziel Sharpener. This one's a really good sharpener, and so I just thought I'd put that in there for my coloured pencils. And I also have a wee box of Canon crayons. These are the Neo Colour 2. And if I can get it open, I've just cut my nails and I cannot open anything today. So these are a really handy set. I have taken these places with me before because sometimes you want to do watercolour, but if you don't have any water or it's just not feasible to have a wet paper, you can colour it in with it and then wet it later. So that's why I keep those. And it's a nice palette. I found the case for it, the original cardboard cover. So this is a special edition one. It's got a few different colours that are not in the classic edition. I also added a phthalo blue, which has actually been discontinued, much to my annoyance. It's one of my favourite colours. I have two phthalo blue crayons and I put one in here because I figured I might as well use it, but it's such a gorgeous colour. So I've just got a standard palette in here, but it's quite useful. And those are my dry media, which I just keep on the outside, nice and snug in this pocket. Now, opening the bag up, there are a few different compartments here. In this pocket I've got my keys, car keys, that sort of thing. Let's just have a quick peek in here. Wallet, and don't steal my money, I don't have any. and my phone. Always I have a couple of masks just in case. I always carry them, and this is just a decent little pocket for those personal items. In here is the main pocket, and this is where I've got all of my art supplies. So let's open this up. Ooh! Okay, so what I've done here is I've actually just put everything in that I might consider using when I'm going away, you know, if it's for a longer period of time, or even for the day if I want to get some footage. I wanted to be able to put in some camera gear. So I've got a little camera here. This is a DJI Osmo. It's like a GoPro, same sort of thing, really great for outdoors, and it's just a nice handy light compact camera. I also have one of my main cameras that I tend to use for filming and going out at the moment. I had a DSLR for ages. It's just so heavy and bulky. I wanted to have a nice small compact camera, so I've got myself a Canon G7x Mark Iii. This is a really great camera and I like it for photography and a bit of filming, so it's nice and light and super easy to travel with. I've got that little palette that I painted in a recent video. This is just more for mixing because I like to have extra mixing sometimes, and I thought it would be perfect for my bag. It's super skinny and really lightweight, even though it's metal. In here I've got one little pocket, and this is where I keep my tiny little flask filled with water. I love this flask so much. It is one of the cutest things I've ever owned. So it fits perfectly in that bag. I love it. In the other pocket I actually have two pellets, and these are ones that I've had for quite a while. I have shown them before. I've got my Art Spectrum and my Holbein pellets, and I actually filled them up just recently because most of them were quite empty, so I thought I would actually fill everything up and have them all ready to go for travelling if we happen to go anywhere. Let's take a look inside these pellets. Okay, so the Art Spectrum. It's got all of my Australian colours, so it's really good for many scenes within Australia. You can see all of the colours here painted on my swatch sheet, and I've filled them pretty much all the way up. Always that yellow ochre will crack. It doesn't matter what I do to it. I've added glycerine, but always it cracks, and that one has cracked too. Whatever, they'll still re-wet and they'll be fine. I also have my Holbein, which is looking rather scuffed here. These have been well used over the years. And in here are some more colours. I thought it would be nice to have two sets of paints because, as you can see, some of the colours are similar, but then there are others which are quite different from each other. For example, this one's got the shell pink and the brilliant pink, that grey of grey. Those are quite unusual colours. And then in this one I've got more the Australian red gold and the green gold, also that really beautiful turquoise. So it actually makes for quite a large palette. Each one has 20 colours in, so I've got 40 different paints here, although there are a couple of doubles such as the lemon yellow. But never mind, I just tend to pull out a palette just depending on my mood as to what I feel like at the time, and this pretty much covers all of my painting requirements. I was originally just going to have one little palette, but then this pocket takes two, so why not have both? Down here I've got two different containers for water. This one is one of those Faber-Castell silicone ones which pops out into a really big cup. The other one is actually more for oil painting so that you can put your mediums in, but these will hold water as well, and these are quite useful if I just need a tiny bit of water and this isn't convenient where I am. If I have to stand up or something, at least it's got a little lid, so I can just pour a bit of water in and then cover it up like that if I need to just quickly move around. So I like to have both. I've since discovered that this bottle will fill up this area. It won't fill up to the top, unfortunately, but usually I tend to actually just use the water receptacle like that rather than unfolding it. But if I'm around somewhere where I can actually fill it right to the top, I can do that as well. Brushes. So in here I have two lots of travel brushes. I may decide at any given time that I'm only taking one of these, but I've just put them both in so you can see that I have them. These are ones I got off Amazon a while ago. Most of them are quite skinny. I think you can see how tiny these brushes are. I think that's the biggest brush. So they go from a size 5 down to a 1. And they're quite nice little brushes. I really like them and they're handy to take. That's a very flat case, so this is really useful and can squeeze in. I've also got this set of Raphael paint brushes. These are a bit more expensive, but they're also really lovely. This is quite a lot larger than the travel brushes in here, so it's a nice wash brush. I think it's squirrel hair, so it takes a lot of water as well, and really great for traveling, although it does get hairs sticking out, and so you have to kind of be careful when you put the lids back on to not bend those totally. So it can be kind of annoying for that, which is where those other brushes are a lot easier to use. Okay, there we go. I got it on. And then the other two brushes, there's one that size and fairly skinny brush here. But these are probably some of my most favourite travel brushes. It's a really pretty set, and I've used this set quite a lot. Oh yeah, I found this tiny ruler in my collection, so I thought this might go well in my travel bag. I've basically only got one sketchbook in here. This is my current book that I'm working in. It's my Primrosia dot grid book, and you can see it's getting a bit dirty, so I might have to fix this. It's just the fabric, it picks up everything, but inside... Look, I coloured all of these in one day. I just sat there watching TV, colouring with my pencils, and filled in the entire design that was on there. You can see the design at the back. It looks like that. Don't know if I'll colour that page. The pencil has smudged onto the side. Oops! As you can see, I have barely started it, so I've got a lot of catching up to do. Now, in the back it's got a bit of a pocket, so I was thinking maybe putting these separate pieces of watercolour paper just in the back here. The only thing is it makes the book bulge out quite a bit, and so I might need to cut down from the 6 pieces to 4 pieces just to make it less bulky. But that is pretty much all of the paper that I would take with me at the moment, and it fits nicely in the bag. So this bag comfortably takes an A5 book. It's not going to take anything much bigger than that, I don't think. You could probably get a square one in there too. There's a tiny pocket in the back which I don't currently have anything in. Oh yes, and I've got a couple of Bulldog Clips which I've just clipped onto the inside just in case it gets windy and I can clip the pages together, so that's always handy to have. Alright, and the last thing that I have here is my large pencil case. Okay, I've just moved the bag out of the way. So a while ago I decorated this pencil case with some of that BB Craft vinyl, and I decided I might as well use it in my travel bag. And the reason I like this one, if I open it, is it's one of those ones that has great pockets for putting your pens in, and it's really easy to get at things. Now I have filled this to capacity. This is a Smart Fit by Lihit Lab. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, and these are brilliant pencil cases if you can get your hands on one. I have this, which I'm not sure if I'm going to keep in here, but it's basically an eraser. I've got a few different mechanical pencils. There are 2 0.5s, and this one's a 0.9. This is one of those Tregear 500s from Pentel, and yes, that's a 0.9mm, so it's got quite a thick lead in there. And this one, it's by Otto, if we can see that there, and I really love this pencil. It's so pretty. Such a pretty colour. Then I've also just got this little skinny one. I don't know where this came from, but it's quite a nice little metallic one, so I like to have a few different pencils in there. I've got a drawing pen with waterproof ink. It's a 0.5, so that's just a fine liner, and I do have one water brush here. I've got a second water brush as well. These are always really handy to have. If I just cannot be bothered using any water pots, then I just use a water brush. I've got another couple of travel brushes here. I've got a Neptune Princeton in a size 6. This is the only Neptune brush that I have in the travel brush range, because they're not cheap, but I just thought this would be a really handy one to have, and I do use this one quite a lot. I also have this one, which is an Art Spectrum travel brush in a size 8, and so this one's quite chunky. It's a sable hair brush, and this one holds a lot of water as well. So in case I end up just taking this pencil case, then at least I've got a couple of brushes in there. I've got a few fluffy cotton buds in here, which I might end up replacing with some newer ones. I've got some leads for my 0.5mm mechanical pencils. These are sticking, and now I've just realised why. I've got a tiny bit of kneaded eraser in here, and it's quite sticky and it keeps clinging to things, but it's the only place I can find to put it, so it stays in there. I also have a small pair of sharp scissors, a small roll of washi tape. I've got some 0.9mm 2B pencil leads for my mechanical pencil, and I also have just a small glue stick as well. There we go, glue stick. Some of these ballpoint pens that have 4 different colours, and this one is so pretty. It's a pastel one. I never knew that these existed until not that long ago, but I also have the standard one as well, because sometimes I just like drawing and writing in ballpoint pens. This is also another Otto pen. These are so pretty. I love their pens and pencils. This is a really thin black ballpoint pen. a Sakura Jelly Roll, and I also have a Signo white pen. These are my favourite ones by Uniball, and I use these all the time, so those are super handy to carry around. And then I've also just got a couple of black rollerball fine liners in a 0.5 and a 0.7 because I use them all the time. Waterproof ink, of course. So this is my carry-all pencil case, and I've tried to include everything that I would use on a regular basis. In the side pockets, on this side, I have actually another flask of water. This is because I do not have space to put an actual drink bottle in. I have this in here just in case I need extra water either for the pot or if I'm really thirsty and there's just nothing else to drink. So yes, this one's full. I really like this container. I've had this one for quite a long time as well. It's a bit bulkier in size, so this one's easier to travel with, but I figured it would fit quite nicely in the side pocket, and it fits exactly perfectly in there, so it may as well stay. And then on the other side, I just have a pair of sunglasses because I'm forever losing sunglasses, and I always need them when I'm outside because I have very sensitive eyes. Well, I hope you all enjoyed seeing what was in my art bag, and don't forget to leave a comment down below if you think that I could do something better with the space inside this bag, because I'm always open to suggestions, and the whole idea is that I can just carry this one bag. I don't need a handbag or a camera bag. I really hate carrying more than one bag around, so this is just super handy to carry everything that I might need on the day when I am out and about. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. Thank you if you have subscribed, and I will see you all again in my next video. I hope you're taking care out there. Swatch you later. Bye! A quick little update. I actually covered my sketchbook in some paper and tape just to make a makeshift protective cover, and it's so highly beautiful. You can see I've attached it just down here with washi so it doesn't flap open and annoy me, and I've done the same on the back as well. I wrapped the washi tape around, so once I unpeel that, I can just then take this cover off when I've finished the book. It's going to keep that pink textured cover as protected as possible, although the edges are probably going to still get a bit scuffed. If I get around to it, I will make a more permanent cover for this, but it will do for now. It's a bit messy, but it's a working sketchbook, so I'm not particularly bothered. Just thought you might like to see that before I actually take it out into the field and use it. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.